KVUE News Daybreak.
Dramatic video of a woman being slammed to the ground and knocked unconscious. The moments leading up to the police takedown.
Radar quiet right now. Some mist and fog to kick off the morning. We'll talk about the thunderstorm chances we're expecting over the next few days next.
And jury sentencing today for George De La Cruz following yesterday's murder conviction. The maximum punishment he now faces for killing his estranged wife. Good morning. Thank you for watching KVUE News Daybreak at 4:30. I'm Corey Coffin.
Corey, good morning to you. Good morning to you. Thanks for being with us this morning. I'm Brian Mays, and we begin this morning with a KVUE News exclusive, a police takedown that knocked a woman out cold. We showed you this exclusive video last night, first on KVUE, cell phone video and dash cam video. They gave us a different glimpse of what happened during this situation. Moments before and after a Round Rock officer threw that woman to the ground. Daybreak's Tina Shively's live at Round Rock Police headquarters this morning, where the Round Rock Police chief maintains the officer in the video did follow department procedures. Tina?
That's right, Brian. Good morning to you. Yeah, officers arrested the woman you see in that video for DWI after a nail salon employee called police saying she was cursing and acting strangely with her 6-year-old daughter in the car with her. Now let's take a look at that dash cam video first. It shows Round Rock police officer Ben Johnson trying to restrain 27-year-old Viviana Keith. In that video, you can hear him telling her why he's putting her in handcuffs, and then he asked her to put her hands behind her back and to relax. Cell phone video from a customer at another shop in that strip mall shows when Keith resists, he pulls her back to restrain her. She then hits the ground and passes out.
It was kind of messed up. She just got slammed on the ground. I mean, I didn't know why, but still, though, she got slammed pretty hard. It didn't look like it felt good.
You always look at those incidents, and they always look very dramatic. And it's unfortunate the fact that this lady did what appears to hit her head and was knocked unconscious. But I'll tell you, the officer did what he was supposed to do in a situation like that. He actually put her in a position.
That was Police Chief Alan Banks there defending his officer. The department is investigating the incident. We're told Officer Johnson remains on active duty until the investigation is over. KVUE also obtained an exclusive interview with Keith's mother. We'll hear from her at 5 o'clock about the incident and the video itself. Reporting live at the Round Rock Police Department, Tina Shively, KVUE News Daybreak.
Tina, thanks. As Tina mentioned, Keith was arrested, charged with DWI with a child younger than 15 and interfering with public duties. She is still in jail this morning. Now, this story, of course, drawing a lot of attention online this morning. We want to hear from you about the woman's actions as well as how the officer responded. You can share your thoughts by logging on to the KVUE Insider Facebook page, and we'll have some of those comments for you this morning right here on Daybreak. Albert Ramon joins us here at the desk. Albert, yesterday, a chance for some storms. Didn't really get much here, but that's not, the chances aren't over yet, I guess.
Pretty small in chances yesterday and also today. There were some showers down south, and maybe only 1 or 2 out in the hill country here today. I think overall better rain chances we head towards late tomorrow. Out there right now, some mist. We've got high humidity and warm temperatures near 70 in Austin at 69. It is 70 in Georgetown. There's some patches of fog to start the morning off as well. So pretty warm, humid environment with just a lot of clouds this morning. We're going to keep the rain chance for most of the day at 20%. We'll throw in a 30% chance for a thunderstorm mainly west of Austin in the hill country, but nothing widespread today. Thunderstorms that do pop up could be on the strong side. Here's what we're tracking for you. Just a small chance of a thunderstorm today, mainly west of town. Better chance of thunderstorms late in the day on Friday. We'll track that for you hour by hour. Also talk about what's going to be a hot week, and I'll show you just how hot in a couple of minutes in your full forecast.
Just how hot will we go? It's like the opposite of the limbo stick. How high?
How high? How high?
Go.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Albert.
The roads proved to be deadly yesterday with several fatal accidents reported. 2 people died in an accident in Liberty Hill at around 9 o'clock last night on Highway 183 in Saratoga Springs Drive. DPS says a Nissan was trying to turn onto Saratoga Springs Drive when a driver in a pickup rear-ended it. The driver and passenger in the Nissan died on scene. Investigators are still trying to figure out what caused the driver in the pickup truck to crash. And around that same time, another person was killed in a motorcycle crash in northwest Austin. It happened just before 9 at Staked Plains Drive in Lakeline Boulevard. Now, police say the motorcycle was traveling fast down Lakeline and lost control. The motorcyclist was then hit by an oncoming vehicle. Now, we'll keep you updated on this developing story as we get more in. And 2 pedestrians are dead after 2 cars hit them while trying to cross Burleson Road in southeast Austin. That happened around 6 yesterday morning when the 2 pedestrians pedestrians reportedly wearing dark colors crossed Burleson Road near Promontory Point. Police say they won't charge either of the drivers. The area has no street lights and the speed limit is 45 miles per hour. And people who live and work nearby say there are a lot of pedestrians in that area. There have been 5 car accidents at that particular intersection since 2013. Police haven't released any more details on the case.
5 years after her death, George De La Cruz is now guilty of murdering Julie Ann Gonzalez. This morning, the jury will begin deciding his punishment. The verdict came down after 6.5 hours of deliberations on Wednesday evening. Prosecutors say De La Cruz killed his estranged wife and then staged her disappearance. Gonzalez's family members say this is not closure for them because Gonzalez still has not been found. Her mother said the last 2 weeks have been hard on them, and the verdict was a long time coming. De La Cruz now faces up to life in prison.
Convicted murderer Aaron Hernandez facing more troubles this morning, this time from the victim's mother.
See why attorneys say the former NFL star would not be able to plead the fifth in the next round of court proceedings.
And a major victory for former pro athletes plagued with the issue of mental trauma. The landmark settlement the NFL was ordered to pay by a federal judge.
Small chance of a thunderstorm today. Better chances of thunderstorms late tomorrow. We'll talk about the weekend forecast as well next.
Daybreak time, 4:36. A bit of fog, it appears, out there this morning. Either that or we need to get some Windex on the old lids. We'll have that coming up.
Again, not a huge chance of rain today, better chance of rain late tomorrow.
And speaking of the storm chaser, we've got so much coverage coming up in May, which is really exciting. You guys are going to be out everywhere, really.
I think every single day the storm chaser is going to be out. Maybe not tracking severe weather or storms, but just to kind of show it off and if folks want to come see the technology. We'll let you know about those dates.
So not only is it the storm chaser, but it's like the blue bonnet chaser and all kinds of different wonderful images we get.
Hey, look,
in
a
May.
cloud chaser.
Cloud chaser.
A beautiful rainbow chaser.
I guess you got to chase something. Thanks, Al. Buying marijuana online, even though smoking marijuana in Texas is not legal, getting it off the internet is, but not for yourself. The surprising group now allowed to have it. Plus,
Pulling the plug, red light cameras around the state could soon be gone. What needs to happen first and what that means for drivers. Taking a look at our live roadways there this Thursday morning, 4:43 this morning. Pretty clear so far. Stay with us. You're watching KVUE, where trust is earned.
welcome back to KVUE News Daybreak. 4:45 is the time. Alive. Look at our state capitol with the UT Tower in the background. You can see a bit of fog out there this morning. Might be part of your commute today, so make sure and keep that in mind as you head out. Looking ahead today, lawyers for the parents of Michael Brown will announce a plan to file a civil lawsuit against the city of Ferguson, Missouri. Back in March, attorneys for the family announced a wrongful death lawsuit would be filed, quote, soon. The unarmed 18-year-old was fatally shot by Ferguson police officer Darren Wilson. The death led to months of protests all around the world.
Former Patriot star Aaron Hernandez now facing a wrongful death civil suit from the mother of the man he was convicted of killing. Ursula Ward's lawyer says she wants to know what happened to her son Odin Lloyd and why. That means calling Hernandez to testify. He didn't testify in his criminal trial. Ward's lawyer says Hernandez won't be able to plead the fifth in this trial because he's already been convicted of the crime.
We will be urging the court not to even allow Mr. Hernandez to offer certain defenses. He should be precluded from denying his involvement in this atrocity. And we will be doing that in the civil case.
So far, Ward has not said much and how much money she's seeking from Hernandez. Hernandez has been sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for Lloyd's murder.
$1 billion settlement for former NFL pro athletes. Yesterday, a federal judge approved a $1 billion concussion settlement. That would pay for testing, treatment, and living expenses for any of the 20,000 retired football players who suffer from Alzheimer's or dementia now or in the future.
They knew about it, and they didn't tell us. You know, that's just like flat out lying to you.
Under the agreement, the NFL would not have to disclose what it knew about concussion damage.
A hearing continues this morning to determine whether the man who tried to assassinate President Ronald Reagan should be allowed outside his treatment center. John Hinckley has been in a mental hospital for the past 34 years. But for the past year, he's been allowed to spend several days a month at his mother's house in Williamsburg. He's been following strict rules about meeting with a psychiatrist and doing volunteer work. But there are mixed reactions about whether he's still a danger.
I don't think they should fear him because I don't think, you know, that he's a danger to anyone.
Anytime you know you have someone in your community that's committed the types of crimes that Mr. Hinckley committed, it's a concern.
Several doctors have testified that Hinckley no longer suffers from psychosis and major depression, but he does still have narcissistic personality disorder. The hearings in Washington, D.C. is expected to last several days. Jim Harrington, founder of the Texas Civil Rights Project, says it's time to retire. He founded the group in 1990 to promote social, racial, and economic justice. In a letter to his colleagues, Harrington says he plans to spend more time volunteering and with his grandchildren.
It looks like red light cameras may soon be phased out in the state of Texas. The Senate gave the green light to a bill that pulls the plug on the cameras once the contract of a city expires with private companies which run them. The sponsors of the bill, Republican Senator Bob Hall, says the cameras violate your rights to due process because ticketed drivers can't confront their accusers. He also says studies show the cameras don't improve traffic safety as advertised. The measure now moves to the House, where it appears to have enough votes to pass. Mopac now at the center of a growing debate. A Travis County commissioner is speaking out against a proposal to put 4 tolled express lanes on South Mopac. The lanes would have tolls that change based on how heavy the traffic is. They'll start at Slaughter Lane and connect the single tolled lane at Cesar Chavez. But County Commissioner Bridget Shea worries the express lanes will make Lady Bird Lake less attractive and put too many people downtown too quickly. The Central Texas Regional Mobility Authority, the group that's made the proposal, tells KVUE there's nothing set in stone about this proposal. The CTRMA will hold a meeting for public comment coming up in August.
Legislation that would cut higher education benefits to veterans and their children is on its way to the Texas Senate floor. A Senate committee passed the measure yesterday. The Republican-sponsored proposal would require beneficiaries to live in Texas for 8 years and cut free tuition down to 120 hours. It also limits the number of hours a veteran may pass on to a child to 60. Tuition exemption costs have skyrocketed in the state from $24 million to $169 million over the last 4 years. Veterans rallied, meanwhile, yesterday at the state capitol, not for military benefits, but for pot. They're calling on a bill to legalize medical marijuana in the state. They say veterans who fought for our freedom deserve access to a drug which they say successfully treats the scars of battle, including PTSD. The bill appears to have little chance, though, of becoming law. On the Senate side, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick has made it clear he opposes the legalization of medical marijuana.
How about this? Speaking of marijuana, you can now buy pot for your pet. The latest products to hit the market claim to help ailing animals. Owners can now purchase capsules, biscuits, and other cannabis edibles as natural pain relievers and anti-inflammatory supplements online. The purchase and use of the products is legal in Texas, but a veterinarian says while there is a possibility the products could be beneficial, it has not yet been proven.
I'm just not comfortable having somebody say, well, yeah, let's throw it out there and hope for the best, and we're going to use your pets as our experimental animals and see what works.
Now, the products being sold online have a low percentage of THC and are not intended for human consumption. Now, don't go eating a bunch of dog biscuits. The FDA is investigating the safety and benefits of the products. Talk about puppy love. This is what everybody needs when they're stressed out. Counseling and Campus Life Services brought in therapy dogs for students to love on. This is at TCU, and it happened yesterday. Dogs not only relieve stress and anxiety during finals, but petting them will increase productivity, motivation, and focus, unless, of course, you're allergic to them. The animals are from the Delta Hearts of Gold, a nonprofit that brings therapy dogs to children's hospitals, nursing homes, and, of course, to schools.
Isn't every dog a therapy dog when you think about it?
Some are, but some are a little bit yappy.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
I
they
guess
just
that's
bark
true.
and chirp, and you're just like, go, get
Outside,
away.
a nap for a little bit.
But those look like good dogs.
Yeah. A few of Austin's homeless get a nice surprise.
makes me feel important. I feel normal.
What an Austin startup tech company did that brought a smile to a few people in need. That's coming up right here on Daybreak.